I did actually. I did have a promo, 1 minute promo for every single one of them. And I have clips from previous ones, and I have the music, and I'll show it to you.
Go ahead.
I did it. I think I did one for you also.
Music?
Yeah, I did clips from your previous shiur. Yeah, I did. Okay, Rosh Chodesh Sivan already. Welcome to Tzhe Ulmad, sponsored by Bensi and Phyllis Friedman. I thought it was only for the parlor meeting. It turns out it was Bensi's father's yard site. What's his name? Do you know? Right. I'm Moshe Ben. I remember. Anyways, it's a schus for his neshama. Also, Moshe Kotlarski passed away. For those who don't know, yeah, Moshe Kotlarski. For those who ever watched the Kinus HaShluchim, he's the one who announced Chabad of Venezuela, and he would have mispronounced three. He would mispronounce 3 countries, and everybody listened to those mispronunciations. But he really lived. He was devoted to shluchim. He knew every shliach one by one, every single one all over the world. What's that? Chaim Moshe ben Menachem Mendel. We have schos for him too. He was nifter. Moshe Kotlarski was nifter. Levi was yesterday. He was 75.
Really?
Yeah.
I just heard a share from him. Just spoke yesterday.
All right. Whenever you're ready, it's an honor to have Reb Chaim Tzvi. For those who don't remember, takes us on a journey, ties it together. Sometimes he'll bring memorim from people in Toronto you don't even know.
I didn't prepare this.
That's okay. It's okay. You can live a little bit on past, but really it's joy, and thank you very much for. I told him a sports metaphor. I said big players are saved for the big stage, right? So Erev Shavuos is a big stage, so go ahead.
Thank you for the big stage. It's always a big stage here. You're in charge. Worldwide, Zoomcast, ABC, Kaabals Hatorah. Taka Rosh Chodesh Sivan. We'll try and talk a little about the parts of Shavuot and to tie it in, like you say, with the big night of tonight, which is Rosh Chodesh Sivan. The Medrash says in Parshas Bamidbar as follows: the central theme in Parshas Bamidbar is the meaning of a Klal Yisrael in order to make and to create the Diglei Midbar, where it says Sovev la Mishkan Yachnu, where the Klal Yisrael resided and was shared around the Malchim, where they all lived around the centerpiece of the Mishkan, which was Masher the Shechina, the Soich Klal Yisrael. The Medrash says, what was that thing, that original thing that created this golem? Listen to the words of the Medrash. The Medrash says like this: during Matan Torah, 22,000 Malchim came down together with the bein Shalom. That's 22,000. Rechev is also 22. But when the Yiddin saw the Malchim, he saw the Malchim were in a formation of the golem, whatever that means. But in the higher spheres in Shemayim, they were also in a formation of the golem. Shenema, Shaitan Pasuk, Dogol Mervova. So when the Malchim come, they come in a oifan of the golem. Even Sherois, when he saw Shem's own golem, Yiddin saw that the Malchim up there are like the golem. His chilum is av the golem. They also wanted the Hadar Chukah to be like it was the golem. Halavai we can have the golem like the Malachim. Kachneva Haviyani al Beis Yayin, the Sinai. Shenitna ba Torah Shnus Yayin. No Torah is like Yayin. Should be a Masachti. Have al Beis Yayin Sinai. State Vaitna Pasuk. What are the words in Shir Shirim after Haviyani al Beis Yayin? The Pasuk follows all. The Diglei La'ava. That's the golem, because in Sinai that was the first time they came across this concept and saw this idea of the golem, and they said that is what we want. The Hashem should give us more ahava in the oifan of the golem. You want the golem? Manas avisa. What did you want so badly? The golem. I will fulfill your wish. Your wish is to have the golem. It's yours. You have it. Miyad, and this is right after Matan Torah, a year right after Matan Torah. The Abisha says, after the Mishkan. This is close to a year later. Miyad, the golem going to go. and do what the Klal requests to have the golem. Ad kan divrei medrash. So right away, that's big news that the golem, the golem, the Yiddin already wished for Shas on Torah. That's what they sought, and that's when they wanted. They said, if that's the case, I'll give it. The Sfas Emes in Parshat says he's medayik in the medrash. He brings the medrash bekitza. Says the mashma that the golem is a much higher level than Matan Torah. Because Matan Torah, what they focus on Torah, the whole world was shattering. The Yotzis and Shmotzon, they got the Torah. There was no. What did they see that when they came out of Matan Torah, that's what we need, that's what we want? They saw the Malchim the golem, and that's what they were aspiring to have. And later on, that's what they got. That's mashma that the level of Ahava, the level of the Shechina, the level of some higher level of the golem, which is a madrega, which is higher than the madrega Matan Torah. Mashma the golem madrega aliyonu b'yoytze. And the Semes goes on to say what's Takabshat, and he goes on to explain that every person has nefesh, ruach, neshama, and he said the nefesh they got by Mitzrayim, the ruach was by Matan Torah, the neshama is by the Shat of the golem, and so Semes says weiter that the highest level that a person can be zoiche, shchina, is when a person has a true kavod, when a person has a rotzen, when it's a machshav, when you do a mitzvah with a ma'isa, you can sense the mitzvah. It's in the physical world, so your schar or the levels you can attain is physical. When this thing that you did was more of a rotzen, more of a ruchnistic thing, that's the highest level that you can attain. So since here was this avul of the golem, something that they wanted was a chukah, therefore what they got was also on a higher level. And Semes goes right, it says that I Shamas and Arichas, then I can tell before you can't translate these things, and I don't understand it myself. It says in every person's nefesh, ruach neshama, because that's where there was Zeichet, Tzitzis and Shrine, Kaabals Hatorah and the golem, which is number 3. So Semes says that's where in the Torah we find Shabbos in 3 places. Shabbos is in Morav, Shabbos is in Tzitzis Mitzrayim, Shabbos in Mishkan, and Shabbos in Matan Torah. It's all those 3 is nefesh, ruach neshama, and Semes goes on along those lines.
The Pesach Sheni also, they desired it to say it.
Also, desired, yes.
So it becomes
I was thinking maybe you can say along the lines of the Semes again. I don't understand the Semes, but maybe with another deeper nakuda, with another machshav over here. Today, as Reb Chaim mentioned before, tonight we enter Rosh Chodesh Sivan, which is the center stage. Why is it the center stage? Because any date that's written in the Torah is the center stage. There's Chodesh Ashlishi. Chodesh Ashlishi, in the Pasuk Parshat Yisro, it's a date that's mentioned in the Torah. Same as Pesukim. Parshat Yisro, the Pasuk says, Chodesh Ashlishi, the Tzhe b'nei Yisrael Mitzrayim, b'yoyim hazeh, which is Rosh Chodesh Sivan bo midbar Sinai. How do you know Yom Hazeh Rosh Chodesh? I know Rashi. So Mekilta, Zereshava, Yom Hazeh. Now Rashi asks a kasha that always it's, and then what the pasuk say afterwards? Yisim refidim of midbar Sinai. So Rashi asks a kasha. Always it says by the Masorah, it says v'yisu me'elim v'yachnu berith. Always says first where they left from, where they came. Why here does it say the order is backwards? So Rashi says Maksh b'yasam Mitzrayim, like the Nesiasam Berafidim, that like they came with true, they love it true. Everyone knows Rashi. If you look at Ramban, Ramban says. Ron doesn't like Rashi. Ron says, I have a push to pshat why it doesn't say b'chlal that the yisumer feed him and it came to him. Ron says, take push to pshat. What's push to pshat? That's the Ramban. So it's missing 3 words in the Torah. Where from? Where they come from? They love him and they came. Look to Ramban. What's the pshat? Simcha lehem v'yamtiv. When we say something in Mitzrayim, nechsafim elo, ki yodu shesham Kaabals Hatorah, ki Moshe higed lehem hashanem aloi, tavdun etzele came ala Tzhe, and even Pari said the whole time the whole excuse to leave Mitzrayim was we have to go. We have to go be Mekabel Hatorah. And everyone knew that's the pathway, that's the mahalach, it's the route from Mitzrayim to Har Sinai. This is what they're waiting for the last who knows how many years. When the Mitzrayim, what's Moshe Rabbeinu telling them all day? We have to leave. Where are we going? The Rebbeinu Shalom, when the Mar of this there, Elisha told Moshe that So this is what this is what they're waiting for all day long, since they left Mitzrayim. So the second you get to the first thing you say, we arrived. On tonight, Rosh Chodesh Sivan, this is the day, this is it. After it's okay, we'll tell you exactly how we left. This is the day we're trying to get to. We say in the Haggadah of Pesach, everyone knows every Haggadah you open up right away has a shtickle about this. Saying the Ilu Kavanu of Sinai, everyone asks what's the topic. The point of going to Har Sinai is to have Matan Torah. That Matan Torah, what's the point of Har Sinai? Why is the Bala Haggadah saying Ilu Kavanu of Sinai? And every safe in the world, you want to say a shtickle from Toronto, I want to say a shtickle from Toronto, but there's sometimes you find you have to say some Chassidus. They bring the safe from Tzhe Magid. Tzhe Magid says that the Teretz is that there are thousands. It's just one of thousands, endless. Paskos Amasa and the Achtus but the Tzhe Magid said that the pshat is that when they came to Har Sinai, there was Zoicha Ta'anova. Why? Because the Gemara says why the Isha was he left over all the Hachaim and Hachaim and he was Mashiach Knasa Har Sinai because then the Gemara said Tzota and he has stuck. The Isha was only Mashiach Knasa, so we learn from Har Sinai, we learn another. So that's pshat. We learn a kapon the midah on another, and he says Moshe Kibel Torah Misina. Everyone knows Misina. Wasn't Misina. So it means with the midah of Sinai another. And I saw the exact same word state is a beautiful person from the foremost Talmud of the Yiddin Yehudim Malchim as the Rosh Chodesh in Prague, Reb Chaim Fleckless, and he wrote a paper I got called Meiser Reb Chaim. It says word for word. There's all the pshat. It's not Shemag. If you like to have the Masnag and where they come together, and he goes right. He says V'zeh Perish Moshe Kibel Torah Sinai with the Midachno. He says the Gemara Shabbos Aflam Aleph that the Ger came to Hill and told him Gareni Almanas to teach you Kol Torah Regulachas. He told him about the son of Lechavach Lesavet the Lehavdil L'Kamech is Klagol B'Torah. Once you know Ahava and Achva which comes from Achno, then about you can learn the rest of the Torah very easily. That's some of that. But I think a Pashup Pshat, if he's the Rabban, the Kasha funks different stones. The Kasha and stuff. Yiddin Rabban says that the day they came to Har Sinai was a simcha gedel nichsav gam kol senasha b'chodesh hazeh b'chodesh hashlishi b'yom hazeh is a yontif hazich at Rabban. This is what they're waiting for. Moshe Rabbeinu told them for years, for over I don't know how many years was this? It's a year, it's like 2 years, but for a long time where they're waiting to get to Har Sinai until they came. It's heinz yontif. Irrelevant to Torah. This is the day that we arrived at our destination. The Sayontiv. So we'll see maybe a little bit more to that. To the territory of but I was thinking after Allah, I'm not sure if it's true, but the Gemara and Brachis, the halacha is if someone forgets Yalaviyah by benching, he has to make a bracha. Baruch Yontiv, Baruch Hadashash Nasan Yom Tovim L'Yisrael L'Simcha. And if you chosim a bracha, the Gemara declares, or Rosh Chodesh, if you forgot to say Yalaviyah, do you say also? You make the Gemara says you make the bracha. Do you say L'Simcha? And the Gemara is on Supik if Rosh Chodesh is considered Simcha also, and the Supik is because it says Yom Sechaschem V'Yamadechem V'Rosh Chodesh. So Rosh Chodesh is Huktash to Yom Tovim. So maybe it says Yom Sechaschem, says Vaydu Rosh Chodesh. So the Gemara wants to know. The Gemara is not Poshit, and the Poshit can say therefore it's a Supik part of the Chanarach. Since it's a Supik bracha is good, we don't say in the bracha of Baruch Hashem Shenosan, we say Hashenosan Rosh Chodesh and Lam Yisrael. We don't say L'Sasan L'Sim. We don't say L'Sim. But Bach brings Simon Kupei Ches on the Torah. He says there's a Shander Rishonim. The Gemara's question is, do you have to say it, or are you allowed to say it? Zakt Bach. If the suffix is if you're allowed to say it, since we don't know, so the halacha is you don't have to say it. But still, if you want, you can say it. Ad kan divrei Bach, according to the Rishonim and Shad, the Rif, the Tzarich is in the Sugya. How do you learn? And maybe a sniff, if you like to say it. Ramban says here on Rosh Chodesh Sivan, Lashon Ramban is Nachamah, that Abavur Hayoyis B'Yontav Mid Basina on today's day of Rosh Chodesh, Simcha Lehem V'Yontav, and they were after Rosh Chodesh Sivan, and someone said by mistake, he forgot Yalaviyava, and he said, "Well, Simcha after more of a sniff, Mekan after Zogin Simcha, well, Heinz said Ramban, Heinz is Taka Simcha and Yontav." As I state, doing Ramban. But it could be the Kavana is a little deeper. I know the oil was running, but
The Simcha is not Rosh Chodesh. The Simcha is the Yoy. It's not in the Rosh Chodesh.
like every Yom Tov says
Every Rosh Chodesh we did the same.
every
No,
day.
no, the day.
Because it was Rosh Chodesh, because it was Aleph Siv.
Because
That year, but if we celebrate Shvius, we have to celebrate the Rosh Chodesh Zoyches. Today we arrive.
It's not in the Rosh Chodesh.
We're gonna get that. That's a Tzhe Ulmad. There's the Ulmad and the Tzhe is when you arrive. When you come to you, that's it. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it.
Yes, there is.
There's another Gemara, another short Gemara, and then we'll get to the good. The Gemara says in Prochas Lamed Beis, and the Gemara is Mavd the Psukim in Yeshaya, Anochi Menachem Kam. Beis Lamed Beis. Tzhe Mitzion is Vani Hashem, and the Gemara says. Over the phone of Rebbeinu Shalom, Klai Yisrael tells the Rebbeinu Shalom, since you don't forget, it's no shichah. Maybe you won't forget the Ma'aseh Egel. Don't worry about it. It's forgotten. If that's the case, you do forget sometimes. Maybe you might forget Sinai. On that, find the Amr of Lazar, Amr Rebbeinu, might have come ill Tisha Kachna, Zeh Ma'aseh Egel. Ma'aseh Egel will be forgotten. Zeh Ma'aseh Sinai, which will not be forgotten. So I'll give them a Farshim asked them, show all the Farshim asked the Gemara, what's this concern? Since the Eibishter will forget the Ma'aseh Egel, maybe I'll forget Ma'aseh Sinai. Oh, once you forget, we remember Ma'aseh Sinai, I'm okay with the Egel. What's the connection there? How is the Sinai Machap and the Egel, and how was it? Normally, if you look at the Gemara on Shabbos, nowhere in Shas is Matar called Ma'aseh Sinai. They're saying Kaabals Hatorah. I'm not sure all the names. But the Gemara says Shema Tishkach Ma'aseh Sinai. What's this Ma'aseh Sinai? What are we talking about Ma'aseh Sinai? What's this Ma'aseh Sinai? It's Yedua. I can't show it all inside. It's an Arichas, but the Ramban writes in a few places Al Torah that Kedushas HaMishkan is the source of the Mishkan was the Kedusha, the Shekhinah that came on Har Sinai. After some first Rashi Zachas Beitz also have Beis. After B'Shekha Yevel Hema Yal B'Haz of Rashi, and after the Shekhinah left Har Sinai, after the end of the year, where did it go? It went into the Mishkan. The Makor of the Shekhinah comes from Har Sinai. That's one Ramban. Ramban says in a few places. It's Shmois, Akdam, it's many places. There's another Ramban which was always a big chiddush to me.
Once I don't fight, it comes from saying it goes into the Mishkan, or it's in the
Shekhinah that we know that was in Mishkan. Where was this? Where was that Shekhinah source from? The Ramban. We know the Shekhinah was Yarda Lamata B'Shas Har Sinai. That Shekhinah never left. It left Har Sinai. It transferred over into the Mishkan, and from there into Beis Hamikdash. The Shekhinah that we have today, that they had for the Mishkan, was the original Shekhinah that came down to Har Sinai, and that Shekhinah morphed into the Mishkan.
And it never went back up, obviously, whatever that means.
Today, you have to know, sure, Shekhinah. The Gemara says that today it's in different places. But the Shekhinah of Mishkan wasn't the Shekhinah, was a Shekhinah that came from the Shekhinah of the Yiddin who Kaabals there. There's another Ramban, which is a Mamash Peldig Ramban. Ramban says, if you look in the Psukim by Matan Torah, state that Moshe Rabbeinu they were ready after B'yam Shlishi. B'yam Shlishi was Chayos of Ragim. Hit the positive Yid. So Moshe says, "On the cross of Leikim and Amacha." Moshe took them out. Say the positive Yisat V'Chzar. They were there. Say Dvaita V'Har Sinai Osham Kuloi. V'Alja V'Yechad Kolahar Moed. And then it says that Moshe came down. The Ramban says there. Find it. The Ramban says there. Find it inside. This is a big chiddush. This disappears. I can't find it. I'll say out what the Ramban says. The Ramban has a kasha that first it says that Moshe brought it, and they were there. Then it says, and not the state Hashem, and then he went back. They went back, and then the state that Moshe brought the and then Moshe came and brought the back. The Ramban says, it's there somewhere, it's one of the long pieces, says when Moshe already took Klal Yisrael out to Har Sinai, they came already, and Mishas, they saw the charada of the Kaabals broken. They got so afraid, they went back. They were too afraid. As Moshe Rabbeinu saw that they took a step back, they went back. Moshe Rabbeinu had to go and take them back out to bring them back to Mount Torah. This is the Ramah.
It's not pshat in pasuk. It's not pshat.
That's how you want pshat in the psukim. No, he brings basically they were afraid. What?
No, everything they moved that they went back for mill, but that was when the
No, that's something else. That was before anything. This is before the point. It has to be before. So maybe it is. It's not of an art. You have to look up before that. You have to look. Okay, I can't. I'll find it after. Soon I'll see it in a second. But as I said to Ramban, come tell you, think about it. The Yiddin went out to Har Sinai. They were there. They've been preparing this based on the Friedrich Ramban of Nichser of Gam Kaabals Hashem all these years to come to. They come there. They make a simcha and a yontiv on Rosh Chodesh. We finally arrived at our destination. They did. They had Moshe went up to Shemaim. They had Yom School. They had they were pirates, they were matayim, they did all the Hachaim they had to do. Last minute, when they get there, they come and they see they can't do it. All this that they're waiting for, I wish I'd seen his eyes. Then they went back to where they came from. Says, okay, we can't. So Moshe Rabbeinu had to come and bring them and force them out and put them back. Because you have to come here to Kaabals Hatorah. All this preparation and all this that they were waiting for, all that they were doing, ended up with nothing. What was the Yagablim? All they had was the Ratzon and the Tshuka to be Kaabals Hatorah. At the end, they were never Kaabals Hatorah with their Hanhala, with their preparation, with their 2 years of going. It was all afterwards. The Irish had told Moshe, you have to bring Klal Yisrael back out to Mount Torah. But all the things that they did in advance to make them a Kaabals Hatorah, from them is Gunish Gavar, nothing. They went out the last minute, they pulled out. We know everything has an everlasting effect. So if the Ramban says that the Shechina of Kaabals Hatorah, that Shechina led to a Shechina of Mishkan, that Shechina that came down led to Mishkan, there's something else that has to land in the Mishkan or around the Mishkan. And that is their Hachana and their Tshuka that they wanted to be Kaabals Hatorah, and they didn't. They tried to, and there was a setback. That Tshuka that they were Nesa'ava, they were Mesa'ava there, and they weren't able to do it, that is the Diglu Alayahava. So Sema says that calls you a Mesa'ava for the Golem, I'll give you. So Sema says, you were Mesa'ava for the Golem, so I gave you the Golem. The Golem is the reward. You have to be Mesa'ava for something else. And then you go. By the Kaabals Hatorah, there were 2 things. Tzve dinim. There was an actual Kaabals Hatorah, and that Shechina, the Kaabals Hatorah, that Shechina led to Kedushas HaMishkan and to Hashras HaShechina in the Mishkan. The Tshuka for Kaabals Hatorah, which they came and they made a Yom Tov for Chodesh Sivan, and they made a Kavana for Har Sinai, and then they had to go back. That Tshuka stays right. In other words, Tzhe Sfas Emes, that Tshuka brought that they'll have another Hashras, which Tzhe Sfas Emes says is a much greater Hashras HaShechina than even the Hashras HaShechina in the Mishkan itself. It's bigger than Mitzrayim. It's bigger than Mount Torah. It's bigger than the Mishkan, and that is that Haviyani al-Pesiyayim. The Yiddin at that time that they were Sovla Mishkan Yachlu, and to be Zoichet to Hashras HaShechina not only the Mishkan, but the Yiddin become part of the Mishkan. They're around the Mishkan, and they're Zoichet to what they saw by the Malchim. The Malchim are Zoichet to be Sovla Mishkan Yachlu. They're always around the Shechina.
Had they gotten the Torah though, let's say they wouldn't have feared, they wouldn't have been Zoichet to Golim, or they would not have.
I mean, yeah, because then you just have Kaabals Hatorah. Here you have two separate things. You have a Tzhe and you have a Lamad. They went out to be Kaabals Hatorah. They went back. They were never Kaabals Hatorah. They had a Shukah. They had a Rosh. They wanted to do it. And then there was a Kaabals Hatorah. Kaabals Hatorah is mishkan. The Rosh Chodesh Sivan, which is nichsef of a kol sanash, the Kaabals Hatorah, that's even bigger than Kaabals Hatorah itself. And that what gave them Parshas Midbar. That's what gave them what the Yiddin said that halavai I can be zoichet to the Rosh Hashanah from the Malchim, and on that Abishah responded and he said, "Yimalei Hashem kol mishal yisach." Please go back and understand the Gemara and Brachas. The time of the Egel wasn't that they acted the Egel. The Egel was their kudim and the Margulies, that they took their tzonis and they wanted something else. And the Klal Yisrael was very busy. Maybe the Abishah will remember those tzonis. And Abishah says, "No, that I'll forget." Because that never happened to me. He said, "Okay, forget my tshuka. If a machshava doesn't mean much to you, so machshava means maybe Shema Tishkach, not Kaabals Hatorah. Kaabals Hatorah about the Hashem doesn't forget. Kaabals Hatorah happened. But Shema Tishkach, Ma'aseh Sinai. It's by Yom Hazeh Bo Midah Sinai. The Ma'aseh Sinai is that the Yiddin went to Matan Torah. They went and they reached that destination. By Yom Hazeh they made a simcha and yontif. The Ramban says, and that simcha, maybe that yena yontif for Rosh Chodesh Sivan, maybe that's a simcha that you'll forget. But the Irish Gam Eila Tishkach, I won't forget Ma'aseh Sinai either. And by Bazoi, the Ma'aseh Sinai, the Shukah of Matan Torah, if you'll remember, we know that will be machapa on the faker tzonis of the Ma'aseh Egel. If with the Emperor one Makasha, which the Chavastas in Nachasak says this week's parsha, the Medrash says this week's parsha, there's only one person in Gans Klal Yisrael that wasn't menadiv to the Malchim Mishkan. You know, Isha they went, and everyone brought Anoshim al Anoshim. Every Yiddin Klal Yisrael participated in the Malchim Mishkan, besides one who didn't participate. One person, Moshe Rabbeinu. Even didn't see him. We know next week that when it started, they couldn't participate. Last minute, they were able to catch him at in the 11th hour. They were able to bring the Chanukah Sanas in. Moshe Rabbeinu was the only one that didn't bring. Take the Medrash and Parshas Midbar. Chavtas brings it, and Moshe Rabbeinu told the Eibishter, "V'shahoysa nafshei shel Moshe Aguma." So Kol Yisrael Yivinu Dvas LaMishkan V'ani Leviskal. I didn't bring anything. I'm like, Baruch Hu, it's fine. Yiburcha Chov V'Lai Mikalelu. You'll dip it to me that we have our own relationship. You don't need Nedos Mishkan. What's Takachat? Why Taka didn't Moshe? It's a mitzvah. But first Chavta says, "Alam D'Shet Teretz." If you listen to look back at Parshas Truma, the Eibishter told Moshe Rabbeinu, "Chume Itchem." Itchem means not from Klal Yisrael, not from you. The Moshe Rabbeinu is not included in the tzivah. We have to Hoga Vakasha. Why Taka isn't Moshe Rabbeinu Nichal in the tzivah of Trumas HaMishkan? The whole Yisod, like we're saying, the whole Yisod of Mishkan and the Hashras Hashchina Mishkan is that Yiddin take their tzonis, the Zov, Kesem, and Chodesh, and they give it away. It says on a Sachshon, and they give it away to the Eibishter, to the Mishkan. Moshe Rabbeinu has no taivis, he has no tzonis. By Moshe Rabbeinu Pasish, Moshe Rabbeinu is a Malach Elakim. V'ish Moshe, by Moshe Rabbeinu Pas Bechlal Nish can tzonis. Moshe Rabbeinu doesn't have any tzonis. He can't give it away. He can't make a Mishkan out of it. Moshe Rabbeinu says, but the Eibishter, the Baruch HaCholam HaKav, you have a Shras Hashchina. In any case, Moshe Rabbeinu doesn't need to be Merav the Mishkan. Taki B'Zoiche, that by Yom Hazeh Bo Midah Sinai, even though this day has nothing to do with Matan Torah, we have a deeper meaning, even deeper meaning in the Ilu Karvanu Fnei Asiyah Lo Torah Dayinu. Karvanu Fnei Asiyah has no shaykh to Kaabals Hatorah. This Kaabals Hatorah that happened on Shavuos. It's next week. You might will be to get it. But there is another Ma'amit that the Ramban says they went out and they went back. That is Ilu Karvanu Fnei Asiyah. And like the first amount, it's a Yom Simcha, and we reached it out, and it's a destination unto its own. We're happy we reached it. It's a chukah, it's a rotten, and that rotten the Eibishter will never ever forget. That rotten led us to the greatest Rosh Chodesh, even greater than the Mishkan, to V'digla Le'ahava, to what the Yiddin want to Sa'ava, which is also a chukah. It's all taivas and Yiddin. A taiva for needs is the greatest thing in the world. The taiva can two of the biggest things. And on that, the Eibishter says, B'sheit HaMedrash, Yimalei Hashem, Kol Mashal Eseichem, and we start to be Zoiche, all our Mishal should be in a smala, and the Shechina should come back.
Das Zug. Sfas says the ganze avoid of the Golus is the Chuke. Sukkah Besamikdash.
The Shechina said
Sfas says again and again and again. It's aggressive avoid of the because you have the satisfaction. You're one more and more. So the ganze avoid in the Golus. Shkoyach. With such a competition, you still pull that.
Shkoyer.
You didn't go to the parlor meeting. You go to the parlor meeting but you got. I know you'd want to go to the parlor meeting. The chukka would be to come here, but your chukka also would be to come here.
Check.
Thank you so
But
much.
the chukka has to materialize next check. So by the Zov gets from the Cheshes.
Yeah, but it didn't materialize right away. It didn't materialize by Kaabals Hatorah.
Like, was there enough? No.
You did it. That's the whole point was there. So you don't, but it didn't go to waste. That's the point, right?
If we're in a very high Madrid, we'll have to do a check, right?
Go to him and say, which?
No signs.
Yeah, no chance. No chance. Wow, very good.
I didn't know he passed away a motion for class.
Yeah.
A second. Moshe Rabbeinu didn't give a Machzis a shekel.
He didn't give. She's saying he didn't give Machzis a shekel. The Chumitchem.
Did everybody give Machzis a shekel?
He didn't. He wasn't counted in this 603.
Everybody gave, right?
Because Chumitchem, I think, is
Did he
Machzis a
give Machzis a
shekel.
shekel?
No? But it was for a mishkan.
Zov gets from the Cheshes. By Machzis Shekel it says
Everybody
everyone has to keep.
Yeah, Moshe Rabbeinu too.
So Moshe Rabbeinu gave